So hi, so today I'm going to talk to you about the evolution of content marketing, where it is going to head in the next decade. So let's first look at how content marketing has evolved in the last 10 years. So I'm sure most of you must be knowing, Google changed the game with their zero moment of truth study. So what they found is like 88% of shoppers use what's known as a zero moment of truth. That is, they do their research before purchasing a product, online or offline. So this also indicated that content marketing had to capture the how and why of businesses. Now, the zero moment of truth study also highlighted the need for good SEO and relevant keywords. And the Google search ranking algorithm also changed to discourage keyword stuffing. So this change actually represented Google's continuous effort to provide users with positive and helpful online experiences. So over the last decade, we also saw the rise of social media. Now that was one of the most disruptive trends in human history, and actually content could be segregated as pointed versus passive. So if you look at pointed content, this was more of like how you search on search engines, whereas social media had more passive content, which was where the users can consume what they want to see. And if you actually look at Facebook, your Facebook feed, you will find that the content that you see is actually what Facebook is showing you, as opposed to on search engines where you're actually searching for what you want. So the creation of more shareable, attention-grabbing content that could be easily spread across social media channels. So that's what happened with the rise of social media. And you would also see that during the past decade, more than 80% of marketers started using social media as opposed to SEO and content marketing. Video also made a really huge push during the last decade, especially amongst the younger audiences. And 70% of marketers say that video is their primary form of media, and 9 out of 10 people want to see more videos from brands. And I'm sure with the work that you guys are doing, even you would see that video is like more popular and something that we really focus on. So videos are more engaging, easy to follow than blogs, emails, newsletters or ebooks. So in the past decade, video became more and more popular. And if you look at the past decade as well, YouTube became central to content strategy. So let's look at content marketing in the next decade. So there are 6 things that we need to kind of look at. So video content will continue to be important. Then mobile first, that is, everything needs to be adjusted to mobile because there'll be more opportunities available also. Then content needs to be customer focused. So content needs to be more empathetic, purposeful, and customer first. Optimization in the sense of historical optimization is going to be important as well. Then interactive content and zero party data. Video content, as you guys all know, it will continue to rise. And if you look at the data, media uploads have increased 80% year over year, especially during the pandemic. And video content is positioned for a massive growth, and we are seeing it with TikTok as well, right? Because everyone can create and absorb visual content, and now you don't really need, expensive gadgets to create videos, and there are new tools available as well. So whatever content that we make or create has to have the quality, it has to be well crafted and relevant. And actually, in terms of video, there is a break from the status quo on traditional corporate content. So YouTube, TikTok is, definitely on the rise, and we've seen it as well. So video is here to stay in content marketing. Adjusting to mobile, so even our dev team must be really familiar with this as well, because everything needs to be adjusted to mobile. So if you look at the data again, global mobile data uh, is going to be 7 times larger than it was in 2017. Then in 2021, 61% of Google searches took place on a mobile device. So this means websites and all other content have to be optimized for mobile. And then there are new opportunities, right? Like in virtual and augmented reality, the metaverse, so everything is on mobile now. So this is something that we always focus on, right? Like being more customer focused, purposeful, and empathetic. So when you take Google's ranking algorithms, it will prioritize the content that will mean the most to the searchers. So again, we need to kind of focus on high quality content that will register with the consumer. So we need to understand the audience and actually make or put a considerable effort into how we reach them. So empathy is more about being in the customer or consumer's shoes, and we ask the question how we can help them and what do they need from us. And the content needs to be enrichment as opposed to promotional. So it will be more targeted, purposeful, and customer centric. So this is where we make the real connections. And another interesting thing is in the future, content creation actually will be backed by tools that use AI and natural language processing. So everything will be more faster and easier. So then actually as marketers, we would actually focus more on strategy as opposed to creating stuff, because the technology will be there. Okay, historical optimization is where day by day there's more and more content appearing on all mediums, right? So it's good that if we spend some time on research and content development. So existing material updated with new data and trends can compete with brand new content on the same topic. So it's really important to create consistently relevant and high ranking content without starting from scratch. So this is really important for search engine result pages as well. So when it comes to websites as well, use more interactive content. So if you look at the data again, so 45% of B2B buyers say interactive content is in the top 3 preferred content types, and interactive content gets twice the more engagement. So we all know, right, that attention spans are dwindling and brands can no longer have like a one-sided conversation. So it's always good when we have interactive content, and I guess again with your clients you guys have seen that as well. So when you take interactive content on a website or blog, there are ways that you can kind of encourage interaction. So we can have a ROI calculator which will show the consumer the value of the product, or like how it will be of value to them. Then crowdsourced product innovation would be where we would get brand advocates and also loyal consumers to give their input in product development. And also by creating quizzes, we can get more information about the consumer than we usually could. So we'll get to know their preferences as well. Can kind of give you more insights into what they require. So zero-party data, of course, we have been talking about it quite a bit, how cookies and other ad tracking tools will change, and we will need to kind of prioritize on security of our customers' data. So there is anyway a switch from first, second or third party data, and zero-party data is where we collect data from the customer voluntarily in exchange for value. So this could include their personal interests, preferences, and in return we give them something personalized, a personalized consumer experience. So in this case, when we have zero-party data, relationships are built on trust and a value exchange. So my parting message would be, don't get too comfortable with anything, with any trends, or think that this is going to be it for the next decade. New trends and challenges are always going to emerge. That's about it from me, guys. Thank you.